This transition is squat to an inverted position, back to squat. We call it spinning monkey. We're going to look at a number of different variations of this technique. It's one of our favorites. We use it a lot. So let's get started on this. So let's go ahead and come into a squat position. Okay, so guys, the first thing that we're going to do to get this, we want to be accurate. So to get this right, what we're going to do is break each of our base points down first. So the first thing that she's going to do is go ahead and take, she's going to take that lead hand to the floor. So you'll notice already sort of where she's placing it. It's not back here. It's not forward here. I want it to be right beside this foot because I want to travel in a nice clean line all the way down. From here, the next hand follows and she steps wide with it. But again, along the same line, exact same line. Because again, if she goes here, she's going to start traveling that way. If she goes there, she's going to start traveling that way. So keep yourself on a clean line. In other words, give yourself a container to work within. Don't just simply place your hands and feet anywhere. Place them in a manner that you sort of determine ahead of time so that you're sort of, you have a certain amount of rules to work with. It's going to help, containers are great because in the beginning they allow you to have something to a certain boundary to work within, and then you can work on expanding that boundary as you become more proficient with the technique. So here we are right now, staying on this nice clean line. Her head needs to go to the floor now. Now notice that her head is in front of the hands, not on the same line with the hands. So if she were on the same line with the hands and she went upside down, she would have a difficult time balancing. So what she's going to do is place the head out in front. Now she creates a tripod or a pyramid or a three-point base, however you want to see it. So now let's step it back again. Beautiful. Let's break this down. So here we go. We've got our hand closest to us, right in front of the foot. The farthest away hand steps in the same line. The head bases in front of those two base points. And now this extended leg is going to start drawing up into position, followed by the opposite leg, which is also going to draw into flexion. And she's now in a balanced, very nice balancing shape, which is basically a headstand squatted. So from the squatted headstand, the opposite foot reaches for the ground. And again, the next foot reaches, stays in the same line, and she comes back up to squat. So let's take a look at it going the other way. She draws hand to the floor. She reaches deeply with the opposite hand. She takes the head out in front to create a nice tripod base, and then she balances as she rises up into this squatted headstand. Switches out, the opposite foot, back stepping this foot, and staying on line the whole time. So this is variation A. Let's take a look at variation B. From here, she steps again, hand followed by the back hand, same line, head to the floor, and she creates again the tripod base. This time, she's going to draw the hips overhead, and she's going to keep the feet connected. She's going to draw them across, and she's going to back step out. So that was the angle for you back here, but we're going to switch so you can now see better what the feet are doing. So here we go. We're reaching, same line, reaching, head bases out in front. Now, notice extended leg, opposite leg extends, both feet are connected, switching, stays on line, back steps on that same line and comes up back to squat. Let's look at it one more time. Base hand, stays on the same line, heads out in front to create the tripod base, hips shift up and over, back step. And let me just reverse you right there. Come back in position. Right here, feet together. This is all controlled with her hips. She uses this, her whole core region here. She controls the transition here and then back steps out into her squat. So now let's look at both of these guys back to back so we can see the distinction, you know, in the two different techniques. So first it's going to be the squatted variation. Good, and now the straight leg variation. Beautiful. And that is the transition of squat to inverted position to squat. We call it spinning monkey.